Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'll be sharing with you all the books I ended up purchasing on my honeymoon. So back in February, me and my husband took our honeymoon in Ireland, and there are a good amount of bookshops located throughout the city. So as avid book lovers, we had a great time, and I couldn't resist getting some myself. Some of them were just, editions that I liked of books I already read, or they had a good, what I really like about kind of UK European publishing is that a lot of new releases already, come out in paperback, which is my preferred form of reading like a physical book. So I couldn't help myself, and the prices were pretty cheap compared, even with the currency exchange. They were, I couldn't pass them down. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is a book that I read from the library while on my honeymoon, and so when I saw that there was a physical copy, I was like, you know what, I'll get this kind of small version as well to kind of remember when I was reading this. And it is Thornhedge by Kingfisher. This is kind of her short story where it kind of takes that princess trapped in the tower trope and kind of turns it on its head. We follow Toadling, who was a human that was taken by the folk when she was a kid, and we follow her now several years after that, where she is kind of protecting the world by what is kind of trapped in this tower. And she's been doing this for many, many years, and her paths end up crossing with this knight that finally kind of sees that there's something off, and it goes from there. I talk more about this one in my wrap up for February if you want to go and check that out. Overall, I really enjoyed this. I really liked the atmosphere, but there was something about it that I was just, wanting more from. My husband has read this as well, and he felt the same way. So this is not my favorite Kingfisher, but I still overall enjoyed it. And because I read it around the time like we were traveling for the honeymoon, I wanted to pick up my own copy as well. Next, this is one that it hadn't come out in the States yet, so when I saw this, I wanted to pick it up, and because we were in Ireland, I felt like this would be a good way to kind of remember our trip, and it is The Morrigan by Kim Curran, and this one just seemed so interesting. So it says, from an ancient storm-tossed sea, a tribe of gods reaches the rocky shores of Ireland, among them a strange, hungry, red-headed girl. A girl who can change shape from bird to beast to goddess, a girl who dreams of battle, of blood, of death and power. She does not know yet that a woman who seeks to rule will always be in danger, or that there are far more treacherous figures in this land than the gods who raised her. She does not know that one day love will burn so deep in her heart that its scars will never heal. That she will know pain so raw and pure it will almost tear her apart. She doesn't know that her journey will take 1,000 years, that her name will be remembered for 1,000 more. She is the Morrigan, and she is waiting, a girl with rage coiled in her chest. Beautiful, powerful, ravenous rage, a rage that will live forever. This one, like I said, because it takes place in Ireland, I had to pick up a copy from while I was there, and the person checking me out said she read this and she thought it was really good, so I'm definitely excited. So this is kind of just a nice little memento from our trip to Ireland. So next I had to pick up the kind of UK European editions of this one of my favorite trilogies, and it is the Emily Wilde trilogy. So I got kind of all books in here as well, and the last one hadn't even come out yet in the States yet, so I was excited to kind of get an early copy of this one. So I got Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, the Maps of the Other Lands, and then also the Compendium of Lost Tales. I do really love the US editions, and I have those as well, but I was like, this is like €6. They were much cheaper than what I could get for kind of in the States, and these copies were just so beautiful, so I couldn't pass them down. So I'm excited to kind of add these to my collection as well. This was one that my husband picked out for me, and it was kind of this bookshop's like exclusive edition, and it was the Shelbourne by Elizabeth Bowen, and it kind of was giving me, it's from Hodge, I guess, the bookseller. So it says, in this account of Irish life, Elizabeth Bowen takes us on a tour through the history of the famous Dublin landmark, the Shelbourne Hotel, looking out on Dublin as if from the windows of the Shelbourne, and then turning inwards to witness the impact of events on the hotel, its guests and staff. Bowen paints a picture of what was, in the hotel's earlier days, the second city of the empire, then the battleground of Irish independence and civil strife, and eventually the capital of the Republic. So this one just seems interesting, like a good integration of the history of Dublin and all those things as well. It kind of has pictures as well. This is like the like special edition, so like they even have like the limited edition like things in here, so that'll be again a nice little memento from our trip. And again, kind of going on with kind of the Irish theme, this was one that just seemed really interesting to me, and it is The Curious History of Irish Dogs by David Blake Knox. I'm a big dog lover, and this is one that was in a small shop that really took my eye, but it says there are 9 breeds of dogs that are native to Ireland, 4 terriers, 3 gun dogs, and 2 hounds. Here are the stories of each of these breeds in the wonderfully Irish flavor. So I think it kind of goes into the history. I always think that's interesting. I've read a few nonfiction books about dogs, so I thought this would be, again, a fun way to kind of remember my time in Ireland. This is a book that I've had my eye on in the States, and when I saw that they had a paperback release of this one and it was cheaper than what I could get back here, I totally pounced on it, and it's called Playground by Richard Powers. This is a book that I've seen everywhere, so I'm happy that I was able to get it, like I said, even with the currency exchange, much cheaper than what I could get here. So it says, Raffi and Todd are 2 polar opposites at an elite high school where they bond over a 3,000-year-old board game. It sets them up for life. Raffi will get lost in literature, while Todd's work will lead to startling AI breakthrough. Elsewhere, Evie sinks to the bottom of a swimming pool in Montreal, strapped to one of the world's first aqualungs. Ina grows up in naval bases across the Pacific, with art as her only home. All these people meet on the history-scarred island of Makita in French Polynesia, marked for humanity's next great adventure, a plan to send floating autonomous cities out onto the open sea. And it kind of goes off from there. This one just seems really interesting, and I do like this edition of the book as well. I like the US version, but this one I do really enjoy. And lastly, this is one that I just couldn't pass up on the deal, and it is the Queen Charlotte book by Julia Quinn and Shonda Rhimes. So I'm assuming it is kind of based off of the kind of spin-off series by that they did on Netflix. So I saw for the price where it was €6, which was roughly like $7 US. I was like, you know what, this is a good deal, so I snagged this one as well. So yeah, happy to add this one to my collection of my Bridgerton books. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these books, or if you have any suggestions on which ones I should pick up first, please let me know. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.